Modern media has sold you a beautifully orchestrated lie. It fills your head with romanticized poetry, cinematic illusions, and trivial games, like staring contests or desperately looking for a woman's blush, that have absolutely nothing to do with the brutal reality of human nature. When you put a woman on a pedestal, dropped to your knees, metaphorically or literally, offering your entire emotional stability on a silver platter, you believe you are displaying high romance. In reality, you are flipping a fatal switch that terminates desire at a raw biological level. You become the classic nice guy, trapped in an invisible box of your own making, wondering why your massive investment yields zero respect. To break this cycle of silent rejection and reclaim your masculine authority, you must stop doing three specific things immediately if you want her to truly fall in love. There is a subconscious matrix governing human connection that popular culture completely misinterprets, and understanding it requires a ruthless look into behavioral dynamics. The female brain operates as an incredibly sophisticated social detection machine, highly calibrated by millions of years of evolutionary survival to scan for internal security and environmental dominance. When you operate from a position of overinvestment, bombarding her text thread, rearranging your entire purpose around her schedule, and constantly analyzing her microscopic movements for signs she likes you, your actions broadcast a catastrophic lack of personal value. In the deep architecture of female psychology, an excess of unearned attention does not register as devotion. It registers as weakness. You are treating her as an unattainable prize, which automatically forces her subconscious to categorize you as an inferior seeking shelter. True attraction cannot breathe in an environment saturated with desperate validation seeking. Every single time you overinvest, you signal that your own time, your own mission, and your own attention are cheap commodities. Human nature dictates that what is cheap is never respected, and what is never respected can never be desired. The raw foundation of masculine gravity is never found in grand, spectacular gestures or expensive material bribery. It is forged in the absolute quality of your presence. When you are with her, you must be entirely there, an unshakable rock unaffected by internal anxiety, listening with a profound inner silence that allows her to feel completely seen at a neurological level. Yet, this high-value presence means absolutely nothing without its necessary, cold counterpart, strategic distance. Much of the conventional dating advice for men focuses heavily on how to keep a woman close, obsessing over retention techniques, while completely ignoring the ultimate measure of your value, your psychological willingness to walk away. When a man is genuinely unafraid to detach the very second his boundaries are crossed, or his respect is compromised, it completely shifts the underlying power dynamic. Women possess an innate awareness of whether a man's attention is conditional on mutual respect, or if he is simply enslaved by his own loneliness. True confidence with women stems from knowing that your emotional well-being is entirely self-contained. You do not negotiate your self-worth. If the terms of the interaction are degraded, you simply withdraw your presence without anger, without a dramatic confrontation, and without ever looking back. If you recognize that you have previously compromised your frame, surrendered your power, or chased an illusion at the expense of your own dignity, hit the like button right now and leave a comment saying, "I choose strength." This is not an empty digital interaction. It is a psychological baseline, a line drawn firmly in the sand separating the boy who begs for validation from the man who commands his own destiny. This unshakable standard becomes your primary shield when navigating complex psychological structures, such as women who exhibit dismissive, avoidant attachment styles or narcissistic tendencies. These individuals operate on a subconscious cycle of emotional push and pull, utilizing sudden withdrawal and coldness as a mechanism to test your stability and maintain control. If you react to their silence with panic, double texting, or emotional demands, you validate their narrative and cement your own inferiority within the dynamic. The antidote is absolute, unyielding masculine consistency. When confronted with artificial distance or psychological games, your emotional state must remain a flat line. You do not chase, you do not demand explanations, and you do not allow your inner center to crumble. By remaining entirely anchored in your own reality, you present a psychological mirror that neutralizes their manipulation. They realize their withdrawal has zero impact on your internal gravity, forcing a subconscious reevaluation that transforms their detached distance into genuine, intense curiosity. True power lies in transitioning permanently from the hunter to the gravitational field itself. This requires a profound mastery of attraction psychology. Most men spend their entire lives chasing outcomes, treating relationships like a market with metrics to hit and scripts to memorize. They attempt to mimic confidence, but the subconscious mind of a woman detects the underlying fraud with brutal precision. If your active listening or your calibrated distance comes from a hidden desire to manipulate her perception, your nervous system will betray you, transmitting a diffuse unease that eventually drives her away. The only path to permanent attraction is the ruthless execution of inner work. You must develop an internal security so absolute that external validation becomes entirely irrelevant to your psychological survival. When you build your own empire, protect your own purpose, and find profound peace in your own solitude, you stop looking for another human being to complete your existence. You become a rare, valuable anomaly in a chaotic world, a man who radiates real presence because he is entirely fulfilled within his own skin. Human history is littered with men who sacrificed their kingdoms for a fleeting glance, only to be left with nothing but regret. Tearing down the false narratives of modern romance is a prerequisite for your survival as a self-actualized man. True attraction is a natural byproduct of who you are, not what you perform. However, there is a dangerous, hidden trap that many well-intentioned men fall into: the belief that being exceptionally good, endlessly understanding, and constantly self-sacrificing will eventually guarantee her loyalty and desire. To understand the cold, biological reality of why being too good actively drains her dopamine and forces her to leave you, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. Why being too good makes women leave you, the dopamine truth. Subscribe to the channel, secure your frame, and never settle for a life lived on your knees.